Alright, what is up everybody? This is Zacharias. We are back with more of Avadon to the corruption. So let's go ahead and continue on here. Okay, so let's see if we can get any work from anybody. Okay, so we don't have anything new to tell. Is there anything I can do for the good of Avadon? Gee, thanks. You are going to the corruption, Malik, to monitor base C? That is what I have heard. That is correct. One of the members of Hanvar's council is there now, evaluating the state of the corruption. His name is Counselor Tan. He has been non-committal on the future of Avadon. He is alone in a dangerous place, and I think that he is susceptible to our influence. Do what you can to win it. How can I win him? Talk to him, befriend him, see if there is a way you can put him in your debt. Favorites are our powerful currency in pack politics. What do I do if he refuses to support us? Nothing. Leave him be. He is balanced on a knife edge. Do nothing to tip him over into opposing us. Alright, so we have that mission for Callan. See if we have any missions down here. Well, there is that guy, Folker, we can talk to about the corruption. I'm going to the corruption. Any advice? Don't eat or drink anything. Run away from anything threatening. And don't go. Though, if you are going, you can do something. Something for me. Why should I always run away? The corruption is full of limitless horrors. Killing them makes no difference. Always more. And their venom can do horror. Such horror. What can I do for you? He hands you a scrap of paper with a trembling hand. Go to the border of the corruption. Find a ring of stone pillars. Go and center. Read that. Will help me. A ring of stones? Places made by pack sages. They watch corruption. Hold it back. In contact with us. Strong magic makes spell work. What is this? A spell made by the eyes. Experiment. Thinks corruption stole some of my spirit. Spell will pull it out. Darkness will hold none of me. I hope it works. Folker lives in the guest quarters under the Avadon dining hall. His recent experience in the corruption has left him warped. He asks for you to travel to the border region of the corruption. Find the stone ring there and perform a brief ritual. He hopes that this will free a portion of his stolen spirit. I am looking for Idamus. She is lost in the corruption. You are not the first person to ask about her. I will say what I said before. Hope she is dead. It is the best that can be hoped for. So the corruption is that serious, huh? Okay, I don't doubt it then. I'm interested in doing more work for you. Okay, so she doesn't have any more for us right now. Alright, so to check for stuff we can do, we got a mission from Hart Callan. This one we'll have to wait until we're a lot stronger before we take it on. We did get a quest for Folker's spirit. Laria, we'll talk to her. We already talked to Shaban. Yeah, let's see if we can do Shaban's thing. First, let's talk to Laria here. Anything else I can do for the good of Avadon and also for pay? Thank you for asking. No, I have a thought, but you will have to be better traveled. Okay, duly noted. So she doesn't have anything for us. Let's talk to our companions in the main. I didn't really do that enough in the first Avadon, but we can talk to our companions. Have we found anything interesting in our travels? Not yet, but I am optimistic. The corruption must sit on a massive lost nation, and we know nothing of it. Perhaps some great truth can be teased out of the madness. I might just take you along to the corruption, then. Tell me more about your work. Okay, so he doesn't really have any new dialogue there. When you sit down with Kalita, you think she is having one of her stutters. She stares off into space and says nothing. Then you realize that she is actually concentrating on something. A minute passes, then she looks at you. I am sorry, Malik. I sometimes think, concentrate, try to remember. It is complicated. Can you tell me more? I am glad you asked. If we are going to fight together, you should know about my pauses. What caused them? I don't know. They remember when I tried to remember things. It happened when I was... Pause. I was in the Avadon dungeons, but they let you out. It turned out that I was innocent. Innocent of... Pause. I committed no crime. How long ago was this? 5 years. They released me and let me be a hand. Kind of them. And yet nobody wanted my aid. Not until after the assault. When there were too few hands. Do you ever want to know what happened? Every day, but I have been told to let it be. And so I did. I am a loyal hand. I do what I am told. But it is hard. You should try to find out. She shakes her head. I must let this rest. I only wanted to explain myself. Make you understand and to let you know that my blade can be trusted. Now, what did you want to say to me? Okay, good day to you. When you are close, Yoshiria gives you her polite attention. She watches you silently, waiting to see what you want. She seems nervous. Malik, I also need to talk to you about the Grey Raptors. I like to talk about the Grey Raptors. I like to talk about Avadon. Okay, nothing different there. I like to talk about the Grey Raptors. When I was a Shadow Walker in Hoplanda, my lord sent me into the woods to hunt Kellum raiders and brigands. I found and ended them. One of those I killed seemed a grimy thug. His father was a man of wealth and influence. He hired the Grey Raptors to get vengeance upon me, and one of them is in Avadon right now. Who are the Grey Raptors? The elite mercenaries of Kellum Dario, available to those with great wealth. They pretend they are more than mere swords for hire, and yet this is what they are. That is what they are. How did you escape? I left. I came to Avadon. Not even the Grey Raptors would dare kill a hand, I think. Why are you telling me this now? Because you have impressed me, Malik, and I want to fight with you. I can't ask you for that honestly without letting you know what is involved. The Grey Raptor is in Avadon? Yes, in the Northeast Garden. I would like for you to talk to him. She looks at the crystal around your neck. Of course, this may need to wait until the hearts allow you into that quadrant of the fortress. Why? Intelligence. I want to know why he is here. What he wants from me. If you found out and let me know, I would appreciate it. Okay, so it's nothing we can get to yet, but she has some new dialogue for us. Okay. Alright, let's talk to Dedrick, even though we have been on adventures with him. Dedrick seems eager to speak with you. He seizes the javelin practice and pulls you to a bench at the side of the train hall. When you sit, he positions himself so that his face tattoo is obscured from the rest of the room. Malik, I am glad that you are here. I need to tell you something. Right now? Please, it is very important. You need to know how I got this mark on my face. Why right now? I can't say. Hints. Rumors. Please trust me. I need to make sure you know. How? I was a young shaman of my tribe. Very promising. My elders did me the honor of calling me skilled. I was the pride of my clan. And then... there was a dispute. A dispute? passionate one. Even years before the rebellion, some of the tribes of the Wild Realm chafed at the restrictions placed on us by the pack. Some in our tribe wanted to exercise our ancient right of charging for passage. We would charge tolls to those traveling on the free roads. I was loyal to the pack. I opposed it. Passionately. Loudly. The free roads? Some roads are declared by Hanvar's council to be free. Anyone from anywhere can travel on them freely without toll or hindrance. One of the most ancient tribal rights in the Wild Realm is to charge for passage through our lands. You can see how this leads to conflict. Expensive conflict. How did the argument end? I prevailed. The chieftains listened to me, not to the elder shamans. They were angry and bitter. They wanted vengeance. A year later, they arranged to have me banished. Banished for what, exactly? For charges that I disrespected the spirits and profaned our lands. Lies, but they made their point. I'm sure few questioned the elder shamans about after what happened to me. I was marked on my face and cast out. Did your tribe eventually rebel? No. Amusing, isn't it? After all I gave up, when the rebellion came, my tribe stayed loyal to the pack. And after you were banished? I came to Avadon. My skill won me a place here. I work hard, I fight hard, but I miss my home desperately. That is all I want to say for now. I need more time to think. Malik, was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Nope, I'm good. Alright, so let's head back over to one more person we have to talk to, who we haven't taken on any adventures, but we can still talk to. Alkander continues to work in the storerooms. He mutters angrily to himself and insults everyone within earshot, but he is not foolhardy enough to refuse to do his job. The punishment for ignoring orders is harsh. What else do you want, Malik? You are interrupting my great work. Are you still angry? Of course I am. As long as I am held here against my will, a conscript, I will be bitter. You should be the same. If you're so unhappy, why don't you run away? Desert my post? Hands only leave their post feet first. Sure, I could get away, but I doubt I'd live through a week. Alright, let's see if Amora needs anything. I can help you to find Shaban. Okay, so we're not experienced enough for that quite yet. Okay, so the only two things we needed to get were a mission from Hart Callan, a mission from Volker, and that was about it. The others don't have anything for us right now. Okay, then without further ado, we'll just head right to the corruption then. I don't have anything else I need to take care of right now. Although, now that I think about it, I'll go ahead and pull up my little document real quick. Off screen. So I know what exactly levels up. Just keep track. Alright, now that that's taken care of, let's head right to the corruption. The book is about the corruption. This entry has been added to your codex. Well, first, let's actually level up here. We strengthen both of those. The corruption is one of the far lands, the outer regions that the pact was formed to hold at bay. Of the far lands, however, the corruption is the one that is least like a nation or territory. It is better described as a mass swirl of uncontrolled magic, hideous monsters, and burned, dead land. Actually, the corruption serves best as a cautionary tale of what happens when magic is not properly controlled. Nobody knows what the wizards up in those mountains were trying to do roughly 5 centuries ago. All that we know is the result, a wave of raw, devastating chaos that engulfed all the peninsula before it faded. There were cities and settlements out there once. Some tribes from the Wild Rim and the Cava were expanding into those barren hills. When the disaster occurred, however, only those who fled immediately made it to the border alive. The survivors were taken by spectral nightmares and the walking dead. Since then, the dread magic that holds the corruption has showed no signs of fading. Nothing grows, and only those unpleasant entities who don't actually need food to survive dwell there and reproduce there, and send the occasional horde of zombies or whatnot north to cause trouble. Fortunately, fending off the random incursions from the corruption is not difficult, and since the dark power there stays within its border, few efforts have been taken to reclaim the area. But nobody knows the source of the corruption, or what infernal master might secretly rule it, and thus that dark place remains a constant threat. Okay, so I'm taking Kalita, of course, but this time I am going to take Ionic. Been a while since we had just to switch it up a bit here. Your head clears as you stumble away from the portal pylon. As your vision settles down, you get your first good look at the corruption. It is, in fact, even worse than you imagined it. You are on the large hump of stone protruding from a bubbling sulfurous caldera. The magma below is slowly eating away at the rock island you are standing on. The pylon will probably need to be replaced within a few years, or much less. The corruption is notoriously unstable. This island might be eaten away from the lava in a day, or in the next minute. There are 2 ways to get off of this searing rock. A narrow stone bridge leads north to a massive closed iron gate. A different path leads to stable ground to the northeast. You are close enough to the closed gate to get a good look at it. It was made corruption strong, the thick steel bars designed to keep even the largest horrors out. Protective runes complete the defenses. The nearby sign tells you that this is, indeed, a convenient entrance to Monitor Base C. However, nobody is here and no amount of shouting and clanging alerts the residents to your presence. Didn't anyone tell them someone was coming from Avadon? You'll need to find a different entrance. Aggravating. Well, hopefully we can use that convenient way in then. The path leads you mercifully away from the lava. You find a large open area. The ground is baked and dead, the foul magic of the corruption having long ago purged away almost all flora and fauna, which makes it slightly unusual that there is a small campground here. This must be a waypoint for people traveling to and from Monitor Base C. For example, the merchant caravan, which is about to leave on the path to the northeast. One of the caravan guards immediately sees you and points you out to the merchant in charge. The trader looks at you and laughs. This isn't a surprise. You don't look like a horror to me. He shouts, "Come on over." The caravan master walks up to you and looks you in the eye. After a moment, he nods and says, "Lower your weapons. It's just a human." He wears the garb of a citizen of the Cava. His skin is cracked and peeling, and his hair is dry as straw. Exposure to the corruption wears a person down quickly. He gives you a little bow. "I am Samian, merchant and trader. Greed and foolishness have led me to supply the corruption, and you are here too, though I am not sure how you got here. The only thing that way," he points at the path you approach on, "is the pylon, to Avadon if rumors are true." Yes, I am from Avadon. I am going to Monitor Base C." Samian nods. "You are lucky then. I'm going to the same place, with packs full of much needed supplies. You seem new to the corruption. You are welcome to travel with us. The journey from here is not long." I will go with you." "Alright, stay close. We are going to the only place that is remotely safe. If something attacks us, kill it. If something leaves us alone, let it. Before we go, if you wish, I will tell you the 3 rules for dealing with the corruption. I suspect you need to hear them." What is the first rule? "Never drink the water that comes out of the ground here. Never eat anything that grows here. It can infect you, thicken and warp you. Don't do it. Starving is preferable." What is the second rule? "You are never safe here. Ever. The sickness of this place can infest the deepest vault, the most loyal general. Always be afraid." What is the third rule? "If you can run, run. Never stay and fight. No matter how many horrors you kill, there are always more. If you feel in danger, it's because you are. Just leave. That is all I need to know. And come on, we need to move now. The caravan does not delay. With surprising speed, it turns and departs to the north. Yannick looks around at the wasteland. This is exciting, he says, though he doesn't seem enthusiastic. For students of lost civilizations, the corruption is the greatest mystery. Was there a lost civilization here? We don't know. Some think that a highly magical advanced people lived here, and their incompetence created the corruption. I would love to know more about their secrets. Well, the secrets that didn't destroy everything. He walks on, gawking at every little detail. There is a forest to the north. Well, it was a forest. Centuries ago, when the corruption first appeared and flowed over hundreds of miles of countryside. The trees are dead, but the chaotic magic of this place has preserved them. The leaves are gone, but the trunks still stand. Delicately balanced, petrified snags that threaten to fall on anyone who dares to walk by them. In the shadows of the dead forest, you can see figures moving about. Whatever they are, they can't be friendly. This is the corruption after all. Alright, and good thing I switched to the bow then. There are several small monstrosities hanging in the road. Creatures with 2 legs, 1 huge eye, and no mouth or body to speak of. Their flesh is moist and sickly, and the air crackles with energy when they get close. Samian size. Stalkers. Small and not many, but they found us. We're going to have to hack through them. If you want to help with it, we wouldn't say no. Indeed, I have no problem with this. Okay, obviously I'm not going to equip either of these, but I will keep them for loot. Actually, now that I think about it, he doesn't really have armor on, so we'll put that on him. I'm hoping to eventually get a good robe for him. I mean, I should. I mean, we can't just stick with the default robe forever, right? Alright, we'll let them go first. The obelisk says Monitor Base C, dedicated in memory of those of the lost. You reach the front gate of Monitor Base C. Like all packed installations in the corruption, it is buried underground. There are lots of supplies and weapons out here, but the guards stay inside if at all possible. The sun is searing, and the dust in the air is starting to make you feel ill. The safety of the indoors is very tempting. Kalita looks at the stone in the middle of this courtyard and laughs. You can see that someone started to etch the stone code into it. They only got halfway before giving up the project, and most of the words are worn away. Not even I would try to bring law to this nightmare place, she says. Yannick sighs. Yes, though it doesn't give me much hope of learning about the people who lived here once. Okay, I got plenty of... Alright, we'll let them go in first and then. Let them go in first and then we can explore. You enter monitor base C, hoping to get some relief from the harsh environment outside. You don't get it. It's hot and humid inside, and the smell of rot and sulfur hangs in the air, just at the edge of perception. But worse, there is a strange energy, a constant feeling of being watched, and a constant hostile presence that keeps you from ever feeling safe and calm. You feel like you can be attacked at any moment, which is probably the truth. When you enter, a guard approaches you. He checks the scroll. You are Malik. Yes, Commander Ophira was told that you are coming. Her chambers are that way. He points to the east. Several cows have been brought into the corruption, doubtless to feed the staff and guards here. You doubt they will be alive that much longer. They don't have a lot of water and fodder to spare. The guards in Monitor Bay C are a twitchy, terrified lot. They act as if monsters could appear in any room at any moment. Which may be true. They are eager for news of the outside world, and they are willing to talk to a hand of Avadon to get it. You trade news with them for a while and move on. Monitor Bay C has several researchers, record keepers, cooks, and other workers. They are, if anything, even more scared than the guards. They would be just as delicious as the soldiers, but they are encased in steel. Oh man, this is like so dystopian feeling, to be honest. Monitor Bay C is split up into separate sections connected by long corridors. Each corridor has guard posts in the middle. The design makes it so, if one section is lost to an outbreak of magic, it can be quickly sealed off. You wonder how many sections have been sealed off so far and what is lurking inside. You meet Samian the trader once again. He has set up a small trading post in these halls, and he is dealing with a constant stream of guards, researchers, and other workers. Proper goods from the outside world are rare here. Soap goes for 20 coins a bar. He says, "Hello, brave traveler. Good to see you again. I'm free to trade now. I can also tell you the rules of the corruption in case you need a refresher." Do lots of merchants come out here? No, too unpredictable, too dangerous. I'm one of the few who is enough of a fool. Why is it so dangerous? These lands are infused with malevolent, chaotic magic. The ground can disappear under your feet at any moment. Literally, sometimes. So why did you come? Greed. Bringing goods here lets me tap directly into the wealth of the pact. I'll take on a little risk to retire at 30. If you even make it that long. Samian sits and sips from a cup of water. Please, buy. The sooner I sell these goods, the sooner we can awake from this nightmare. Can you spare anything for a hand of Avadon? Yes, I will give you a discount. A small one. Don't ask for more, hand. My goods are too precious and the risk too great to spare a bribe today. Alright, let me see your wares. Samian brings desperately needed supplies out to the corruption outpost, and he charges an appropriately high price for them. Well, I will definitely take the lockpicks. I don't need anything. And good luck to you. My advice, friend, do what you need to do and get out of here fast. Oh snap, I just remembered. I forgot to take my supplies back from Dedrick. But let me go ahead and do this as a bit of a compromise, though. Since I got plenty of healing potions already. I mean, we can split this up among my group without having to go back to Avadon it. And grab the ones we had as spares. Just want to make sure that Yannick has plenty of stuff. He'll especially need as a mage and having to cast spells often. We will definitely need to make sure that he has plenty of gear himself. Feel like we are getting closer to that point too, where we just rely on elixirs rather than potions, but I still want to hang on my potions for the time being. Too bad we can't take these pack papers, but whatever. There is a Darramite woman sitting at this table, reviewing reports and maps. She mutters, "How can I track this place when the landscape keeps changing?" Then she rises and turns to face you, and you note the commander's insignia on her tunic. She wears no armor and bears no blade, and yet she is the commander of this outpost. She says, "You are Malik, yes? Hart Protus sent word that a hand of Avadon would be sent to us. It's a necessary imposition, I suppose. I am Commander Ophira. I can provide you with quarters and information before you are on your way." Avadon sent me here to look for a fugitive. So I have heard. Hart Protus sent detailed information ahead of you. Miranda, that is who you are hunting. Traitor, responsible for the sacking of Avadon by parties unknown a few years ago. And you have seen her? No. Oh. She has not been sighted by us. If she is in the corruption, we have found no trace of her passing. However, there are many small outposts on the border between the corruption and healthy lands. I did get an intriguing message from one of them a few days ago. Go on. She marks the location on your map. It is to the north. The scout in question, Watcher Ibu, reported that the corruption expanded to engulf his camp. While preparing a defense, one of the Ibu's archers spotted a human skulking in the distance. Watcher Ibu may still be there. I would suggest speaking with him. The corruption engulfed the camp. The borders of the corruption are not stable. They grow and contract extremely quickly. A camp on the border can find overnight that the dark magic has claimed all the land around it. When this happens, flight is the only response. What did Ibu say about this human? Nothing. That's all his message said. A human. His letter was a bit unhinged, I'm afraid. I hope he fled immediately and didn't do anything foolish. So I should see Watcher Ibu. I have no other suggestions to offer you. You sit with the commander. She has tea brought while you discuss the situation with her. She is very careful and guarded when talking to a hand of Avadon, which is far from unusual. You try to estimate how old she is. You think she is in her 30s, but exposure to the corruption has aged her. Her skin is dry and cracked, and she moves as if every one of her muscles is sore. I like to know more about the corruption. Everyone does, but there is little to tell. That is why the pack keeps building these outposts. To understand, all we have learned is that it is very hard to maintain an outpost here. How old is the corruption? About 5 centuries, more or less. How was it created? Nobody knows. It is a great mystery. The people who lived here, their beliefs, the magic they practice, almost nothing is known. The best guess is that some sort of magical experiment tore a hole in the air or the sky, and horrors came through, and they are here to stay. Does it grow? Yes, it also shrinks. The borders are extremely unstable. The corruption sends tendrils of destruction into the lands to the north and east, then withdraws them. The overall area of the corruption seems to stay constant, though. That is a blessing. What is being done to fix it? Ophira laughs. Fix it? Are you mad? It is bigger, older, and stronger than all of us. All the power of Avadon is nothing compared to the implacable devastation of the corruption. We watch it and hope. That is all we can do. Tell me about this base. It is Monitor Base C, the third of 4 bases built inside the corruption to watch it and learn. It is an expensive, deadly, probably futile effort. But if we are to live with the corruption, we can't just ignore it. Tell me about bases A and B. Lost, infested. The magic of the corruption is an insidious thing. It is always looking for ways to break in. Lava, changing terrain, spontaneous monster appearances. Things that are constantly falling apart. What about Monitor Base D? The newest, largest, most well-defended base in the corruption? She winces. We lost contact with it weeks ago. I am sending a request for help to Hanvar's council. We are very concerned. How long have you been commander here? 3 years. That is all. I know that I look as if I have spent decades here, but... She shakes her head. My term here ends soon. I volunteer to come here. Someone needs to. I will not pretend it doesn't exact a cost. Why aren't you armed? Don't worry, my armor and bow are in my chambers. I can get them when I need them. I normally go without. I am sending a message to my warriors. What message is that? Whatever attacks us, and something will attack us, we may not be able to deal with it with blades. We might need to be cunning. More likely, all we can do is run. Let's discuss Avadon. Ophira nervously drums her fingers on the table. If we must. I think my views are my own and I have the right to have them. But Avadon sees things differently. And what do you think? I am a Darramite. We believe that the people should choose their leaders. True authority to lead only comes from the approval of the ruled. This idea could not be more foreign to your master. Up high in his black fortress, sending people to interrogation or death without thought. That is all I have to say about it. There is something I would like to know about. I will help you if I can. Is there someone or something you are looking for? I have business with Counselor Tan. Tan is here. He is in his quarters. She points to the northeast. Our best guest quarters. Ophira winces. Dealings between Avadon and Hanvar's council? Here? Please don't tell me any more about it. It's the sort of knowledge that can only cause trouble for me. I can't think of anything. Alright, come back if you recall something. Whatever I may believe about Avadon, I honestly wish to help you. Alright, so we have that now. A pair of enormous guards stands to either side of the store. Their shields bear the symbol of Hanvar's council, the elite group of chosen officials that runs the pact. When you approach, they don't mess around. They raise their blades and say, "Stop there, Hand. You can't pass." There is a brief, tense standoff. You are a Hand of Avadon, unused to being stopped. They are tasked with protecting one of the most important people in the pact. You watch each other, waiting for the other side to back down. Then the door cracks open. A tired voice comes from within. The Hand means no harm. I would like to speak with the representative of Avadon. The door closes. The guards step aside. One of them growls, "The counselor will see you now." Okay. You come face to face with Counselor Tan, one of the 16 members of Hanvar's council. Even by the high standards of Avadon, this is a significant and powerful individual. He is a tall, barrel-chested, hardy man. He rises to greet you. The corruption has been eroding his strength and high spirits, but he can still manage cordiality. Greetings, Malik. The arrival of a Hand of Avadon has not evaded my notice. I am Tan, honored Hochlandan representative to Hanvar's council. I am pleased to meet you. A hand can often be useful in a difficult situation. Tell me about Hanvar's council. Of course, I am eager to clear up the confusion so many have about our purpose. Also, this gives me the chance to brag. There are 16 of us, 3 from each pact state and the Imperator, selected by us to speak for all. We direct the pact, not the individual states, though we might guide them. We direct the military and resources shared by all the states and administer the laws of the pact. How did you become a member of the council? The leaders of Hoklanda chose me. They thought I was somewhat competent. Also, my family is very wealthy and influential. The family part was more important, I confess. Why is it called Hanvar's Council? A bit of history, increasingly obscure history, I am sad to say. Hanvar was the lord who first united the 5 peoples of Central Linnaeus into the pact. How do you guide the pact states? Much as each nation has laws to guide its people, the pact has laws that guide the countries that belong to it. Some people hate these laws, thus the rebellion in the Wild Realm. What will be done about the Wild Realm rebellion? Tan is momentally very serious. We will deal with lawbreakers the way that any state deals with lawbreakers. Counselor Tan sits with you at his table. He keeps a healthy stock of tea and snacks nearby, and he isn't averse to sharing. However, as you speak with him, you notice that he is careful to stick to inconsequential topics. He is a friendly politician, but a careful one. What brings you to the corruption? He sighs. It is a dreadful place. My colleagues told me that I should not come. Most of my colleagues, that is. It is dangerous, after all. However, I needed the most precious of commodities. Most of your colleagues. He smiles. My associates from Kelimdario were happy to see me come here, and they wished me a good, long stay. What did you need? Information. Proper information from the actual source about our project here. What project? The monitor bases. We need to watch the corruption, many believe, to understand it and to get warning if it is about to expand. However, there have been problems. Some wonder if they should be built at all. Is it a big controversy? It is. The corruption is huge and unpredictable, but it tends to keep to itself. The rebellion, on the other hand, and the constant conflict between Kelimdario and Hoklanda, between the Keva and the Wild Realm, these are real, imminent problems. Solving such problems takes resources, which are always limited. So can we afford to keep building doomed fortresses in this wasteland? What sort of problems? They get lost. Bases A and B were destroyed. This one seems ready to collapse at any moment. And Monitor Base D? That one is a mystery. I understand it is out of communication. What do you think? Members of the council who don't guard their opinions don't stay on the council for long. So you are here to investigate. Yes, I am learning what I can about affairs here, the state of the bases, their potential future, how much they cost to build and maintain. However, my guards, tyrants that they are, won't let me look around as much as I want. He sips some tea. You know, this is exactly the sort of situation where a hand can be useful. What do you want from me? Something simple, something rare and precious and yet utterly free. I need your opinion. Look around, talk to people. Decide this. Is it worth the expense and blood and treasure to build and maintain the monitor bases? Give it time. Think about it. It is a difficult issue. I am eager to help. Counselor Tan nods. I will be waiting here until you are ready. I will be leaving now. Thank you for stopping by. Pleasant company is hard to find in this horrible place. Travel carefully. There is danger everywhere here. Alright, got an entry about the Black Age. The Black Age, which began in cycle 6203, was a long series of wars between pact states. For over 30 years, while Hanvar's council met and pretended things were well, the states they represented fought each other constantly and viciously. The Black Age had many causes: trade disputes, old grudges, patches of miserable land whose ownership had been disputed for centuries, the belief of all parties involved that their culture and beliefs were superior to those of everyone else. The result was chaos. First, raids, waylaid caravans, punishing terrorists, and minor incursions of troops over the borders of others. But things escalated. The Black Age's official beginning was marked by Hoklanda sending over 1,000 warriors into Baraza Woods, land long claimed by neighboring Kelimdario. Many soldiers on both sides died. This triggered a variety of treaties and informal agreements some centuries old. Soon the western half of the pact, Hoklanda and the Wild Realm, were in an informal war with the eastern half, the Keva and Kelimdario. Darram, on the east coast, tried not to pick sides. In turn, they found themselves unsupported when the raiders of Sarargald came calling. And, of course, Farlands wasted no time in taking advantage of the chaos. For the first time in over a century, raiding wretches and barbarians took a bloody toll on the lands of the pact. Okay. Okay, nothing really worth stealing here, but we did get some coins. Ooh, composite bow. Okay, that's actually does more physical damage than the bow we already have. So let's go ahead and switch this out. He needs more of the melee protection damage anyway. Being a sorcerer who will. often get hit. Warriors captured this monster. It's currently securely chained, waiting for analysis, death, and autopsy. It lets out a loud hiss when you approach. It doesn't have a visible orifice through which such a hiss could have emerged. Alright, healing potion. Okay, got another book to read. Curing brew. Alright, Codex, the end of the Black Age. In the years before 6230, in cycle 6237, the members of the pack realized the extent of their mistake. The Black Age, over 3 decades of civil war, had erased all gains of the First Age. The far lands ran wild. Hamvar's council still met regularly, but it had no power or influence. And then, as before, a lone hero rose to save them. A woman named Talera, one of the representatives of Darram and Hamvar's council, left the council and became a neutral diplomat. A neutral, bloodthirsty diplomat who worked to negotiate a peace and used her massive private fortune to hire a host of assassins. Those who opposed her work in the name of peace tended to die mysteriously. Talera's work was actually fairly easy in some ways. All members of the pact wanted a faith-saving way to end their conflict. They were eager to stop fighting, but how would peace, once attained, be maintained? Talera's stroke of genius was the creation of Avadon, a fortress and enforcer, independent and impartial, staffed with their own assassins who would stand apart and crush all who acted against the stability of the pact. The Treaty of the Five Powers was signed in 6237. It ended the war and compelled the 5 states of the pact to provide money and resources to form Avadon. Now an independent force would watch them and rein them in, for their own good. Okay. And with that in mind, we can definitely explore more of the base in the next part, but I'm actually going to go ahead and save the game right here, and I'll see you all soon with the next part of Let's Play.